We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
Same thing we always do. Fight them until we can't.
You know, every time I do that intro, it never gets old. It's like, goosebumps. I love it.
That guitar riff is insane.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I love that guitar.
I do actually. When Brightest Day put this together, he had to use, kind of a different cut of music. We couldn't use the actual proper selection that I wanted to from the Battlestar Galactica soundtrack, which, by the way, you can find that on the internet, guys. The soundtrack from the BSG series. Shout out to Pegasus Actual. I kind of missed you, Pegasus Actual, but we went through the whole series. But that is available on the channel, by the way. If you go back through my videos, previous live streams, you can see the Pegasus Actual podcast. We covered the entirety of the recent 2000s Battlestar Galactica series, and it's pretty awesome. But the soundtrack is available out there online. I think you can get it at places like Amazon and things like that. So it's all there.
Spotify?
Good music, actually. There's some classical.
Hope it's there.
There's some classical on there. There's a lot of good stuff. Bear McCreary just did an awesome job on that soundtrack for that series. So I love listening to that soundtrack from time to time. Usually I listen to season 2 is what I mostly listen to, but there's a lot of good stuff on there. But anyways, yeah, we had to use a different selection for this, but it worked out because I like the guitar version he found a little bit better. Let's say hi to the chat. Obviously, first off, want to say to everyone, Merry Christmas, belated. I know that we're a couple days out from Christmas Day, but hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas with your families. Me personally, I went down to what's hopefully going to be my new home here in the future down in Tennessee, and I visited my cousin. My second cousin was getting married, and I spent a little time down there. I had to leave a little early and cut my visit short, and I ended up driving back on Christmas Eve afternoon. But the woman that was my late mom's best friend, was watching the house and watching Gambit and Apollo. Well, when we got the winter storm up here, we got a lot of high winds along with snow and everything. She got snowed in. So for a day and a half, she wasn't able to get over here. And, my poor cats didn't have any food. And at one point, I had heard the power was out. So I decided on Christmas Eve afternoon to just cut things short and drive back. And let me tell you, folks, that drive back was no joke, which should have been a 7-8 hour drive home.
I know I wasn't laughing.
Which should have been a 7-hour, 8-hour drive home. And thank goodness for Will here, because he had to help me real time navigate. Once I hit, because the way that I come down,
it's the worst vacation I ever had.
Yeah, the way that I come down from Ohio to Tennessee is I take Interstate 71, which goes through most of Ohio. Then I hit 75, which goes the rest of the way into Knoxville. Well, coming back, I-75 wasn't the problem. The problem was when I got to I-71 in Upper Kentucky. And it was completely a sheet of ice. I kid you guys not. It was a sheet of ice all the way through the rest of Kentucky and Ohio. And that was the worst white knuckle drive I ever had in my life. And it was downright scary. And thankfully, I made it home, even though that it took a little over 12 hours, but I made it. So I'm glad for that. But it's good to see everyone. And again, I hope you had a great Christmas. Just Another Red Shirt is here. Chris Mead is here. Our one of our favorite viewers and big supporter of the channel, Big John DeBelvis is here. Great to see you, John. We've got Trina, the Lasso Truth, is in the chat. Great to see you, Trina. She's modding and hanging out, and so is Redshirt. And also we have Pinochet's Helicopter Tours. Tony, it's great to see you. Great to see Trinoculus P in the house. What up, brother? Terminus Est is in the house. Hail to you. Godzillionaire is also here, keeping an eye on things, modding and hanging out in the chat. Great to see you, Godzillionaire. The lovely Sherry is also here. Great to see her. Keely Chow, great to see you, brother. Papa Cotton, what's going on, Wook? Great to see you, man. Pinochet's Helicopter Tour says, I have the Season 3 soundtrack on disc with All Along the Watchtower. Yes, very awesome. Love. I like all the seasons, dude, of the BSG soundtrack. So that's awesome.
Love that song.
And thank you for the $2 super chat, bro. Kronos is in the house. Great to see you. Phil TMNT. What up, Phil? Hope you had a great Christmas, bro. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. So on our panel this evening, we have Mr. Free Speech Gaming. Steven is here.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Janet.
My co-pilot. And we have Will, of course, the ever-present, Italian stallion from Akron.
I don't know where
Hudson,
come from.
Wherever the hell it is. It's just somewhere down in Summit County. So he's
Don't call
here.
me the Italian stallion. It's too much pressure.
And of course,
Yeah, he's about to go to the glue factory anyway.
yeah. And of course, we have the lovely Janet from Another Planet, who decided to make it in right at the buzzer. So great to see you, Janet. And Gap is here. What's up? Gap Stargate, aka Gap After Dark these days. What's going on, buddy? Great to see you. And of course, we have our favorite pal, Tehillim29 here. Always a solid supporter of the channel. So thank you, Tehillim, for being here, my friend. Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas to you as well. So this is kind of our year in review show. We all kind of brought an event with us to sort of talk about, because let's face it, 2022 was a real shit show. If we're just being honest, and Brightest Day, we were talking about you, marveling at your intro skills. We're always marveling at your intro skills, though. And Merry Christmas again, dude. I know we said that on Christmas to each other, but it's good to see you here. We also have Rita is in the house, and Rita also give Dwayne my best. Drew and everyone, much love from Iowa. Great to see you, Rita, honey. Always great to see you. So, yeah, we all kind of brought one event, and I know ETEP sent his because ETEP couldn't make it tonight. He is down with the sickness, as Disturbed would say. He's down with the touch of the flu. So
is that what that song is about? Disturbed wrote that song about the flu?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
What I thought.
So basically, ETEP said, he thought that his biggest thing was going to be the Elon Musk Twitter purchase, and I thought we'd start with his because probably in a year full of shit, that was a bright spot because it brought out a lot of truth. So I will say that ETEP's pick on that one was good. In my opinion, 44 is it 44 million or 44 billion?
Billion.
44 billion?
Billion with a B. Carl Sagan B. Billions.
Yeah.
What's a million to these people? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Drop in a bucket.
I thought that it was 44 billion well spent because it gave him a chance to basically drop some truth, shed some light on what was really happening with big tech, and with all the Twitter files coming out. We still got Twitter files coming out. The House of Cards really fell in for the people trying to pull the wool over your eyes. So I thought that made a difference. That purchase definitely made a difference this year. So that was a huge event. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2 says white pill for Janet. Look up the Battle of Athens, Tennessee. But the thing is with the Twitter purchase, it changed the landscape because Twitter was nothing but a cesspit of censorship. As we now know, it was extremely one-sided. You had actual, it's not supposed to happen that way, but you had federal oversight running Twitter, as we see with the collusion with the three-letter agencies. Nothing good can come of that. And now, as a result, I know that I tweeted it out there, retweeted it, as people were putting out their stuff being leaked now about Google in their structure and the breakdown of what they have as far as feds involved. And it's absolutely astounding when you look at that. But we were kind of prepared for that after the initial release of all of these Twitter files.
Am I allowed to talk too while you're talking about that? What do you think? And I really am waiting to hear some other information come out about the whole Parler incident. And all the people that were involved in that, I really feel are going to be in these Twitter drops to get rid of Parler and to, and I think the people that we're on right now are going to be in the middle of some of this too.
Well, if we have direct evidence that they essentially torpedoed a competitor like that, then yeah, there's going to be some.
No, I mean with the FBI and the government being involved in censorship. That's what I'm talking about.
It depends.
group.
I don't know how much the former Twitter staff actually referenced or talked about Parler properly.
No, I mean about where we're online right now. The people that are letting us stream.
Well, yeah, okay.
I think a bunch of that's going to come out too. I mean, what I meant is everyone that was involved in censoring Parler is going to be involved in this whole thing for censorship with the government. That's what I'm trying to say without actually saying all the names of the companies, but I think they're all going to be involved, and I think all of that will come out in some of these Twitter drops and emails and things.
You see, Janet, if you read Godzillionaire's comment, I think that, and look, we're not trying to be black-pilled, but Godzillionaire brings up a good point. It's going to be very unlikely that these people are going to see prosecution.
No, I don't think
or
so.
anything like that,
No, I'm just saying I think that we're going to actually see documents saying that these people were involved in making sure all of us on our channels and things like that were censored and told to shut up, or, like with whatever, because the government told them to do it.
I think with the Parler situation, it's believable, at least for me, that that they did that on their own, that the companies colluded. I don't know if there was any government involvement with that, but definitely when it came to some of the stories that were coming out about, right around the election, I think that was that. I mean, we know that was orchestrated.
Well,
I don't think the FBI paid them.
I don't think the government has anything to do with shutting Parler down either. I mean, all the corporations that were involved in closing down Parler themselves because of their rising stars are going to be involved in the Twitter files drops with the government helping the government censor all of us. That's what I meant by that group of people. So I didn't have to lay them all off. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say.
There's a lot to this, but if we zoom out and take the bigger view of what the bigger symptom here of the problem is, of course, the powers that be that are influencing the federal government, that are influencing every other government in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they want to shut you down. They don't want dissent from citizens because they don't want a natural resistance to form. That's the exact reason all this is being done. They don't want the resistance to be coordinated, because you're seeing very strong resistance in other countries, but it varies. They don't want that to become globally connected and for people to, for that to catch a head of steam behind it, because if it does, then, they have nowhere to run, because the citizenry outnumbers anything that they can throw at it. And while a lot of people may die, in the end, those people are going to go down, and they understand that. So, Pinocchio's Helicopter Tours for another $5. And thank you again for the super chat, my brother. I appreciate it. Nobody asked me, but for me, the CIA revelations regarding JFK are my 2022 big story. It's now proven fact that the CIA framed Oswald prior to the assassination. And yeah, Tony, we'll get to yours here shortly, but yeah, you're exactly right. Let's go on real quick to before we move on to the next topic. Stephen or Will, do you have anything to add on the Twitter purchase?
I'd say it's one of those things of the Twitter purchase as a whole. It's going to be a good thing either way. Either Elon's going to fix up Twitter and we're going to actually have a free speech space, which I have to say, just from what I'm seeing, it's a kinda is the answer, that we're seeing more things that are allowed, but we're also seeing a very clear bias coming from the current Twitter staff, particularly from Elon, putting basically the same methods against the left that the left was using against the right, which, just as a free speech advocate, I don't agree with. It's fun to laugh at, but I don't think that it's the morally correct thing to do. So
No,
we're either
but
going
I'm
to
not going to say it isn't satisfying.
It's funny, but it's one of those things I try not to revel in something being done to other people that I didn't like it when it was done to me. I think that we should be able to have free discourse on these places, and just the way he does terms of service and the way he's obviously wielding them the same way they've been wielded for a long time. So either Twitter's going to become fucking cool again, or it's going to crash and burn. That's a win-win for me. I have no problems with Twitter shutting down.
Yeah, and Trinoculus, I've heard that in reference to your comment. I've heard that about Texas.
Just to piggyback on what Stephen was saying, though. First of all, there's the ultimate proof. Schadenfreude is real, and it is branched out from Germany, and it is found the Western world apparently. I think that at its very core, the purchase of Twitter by Elon Musk is something that needed to happen because, it's like you said, Drew, like Twitter, the powers that be in this country and in the world were trying to make Twitter like the closest thing the United States had to, I guess you could say, state-run television, like they have in China, except it's obviously not television, but in the end, it serves the same purpose.
Yeah.
Oh man! Hail, small time republic. What's going on, Matt? Belated Merry Christmas, sir. Small time republic says, for example, if Taylor Lorenz wants to make a fool of herself on Twitter, then let her. Absolutely. But dude, Tay is known. Tay is known for that, man. Fucking Taylor.
Well,
Lorenz.
I think it's great that the one thing I have seen is that it is more fair, and that both sides are laughing at each other equally, from what I can tell. And yes, I think that Elon does seem to be coming down on some of the left a little harder, but I don't think he's going to do it full time, and I don't think he's going to make it like permanent. I think he's just frustrated because he's trying to release a little frustration from the years of abuse that we've all been putting up with, and the fact that being doxxed and having your children at risk and things like that would give him a little bit of a pissed off attitude. So if I'd give him a couple months, and then I think he's gonna start mellowing out over that part of it. And once the Twitter files are all out and everything, I think it'll become more of a business again, and but it'll be more even because it's funny to laugh at them, but that's what they were doing to us.
Well, go
Every
ahead
time
and read.
we would get our heads chopped off. So
go ahead and read Tony's comment, Janet.
Which one is it? I don't see
the
it.
one I have highlighted on
Oh,
the screen.
okay. Hold on. Let me get it up here and make it a little bigger so I can read it better. Okay. Twitter is being sabotaged by the other elites and activist investors. They are intimidating advertisers with a false propaganda campaign. And I definitely believe that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
That
sounds familiar, though. Isn't that what was happening with Facebook? Probably still is.
That's happening on all these different platforms.
Yeah.
From what I can tell.
Trinoculus P says, in my opinion, Twitter was the replacement for Biden's Ministry of Truth. Mm-hmm. I agree with that assessment.
Definitely.
Rita says, I'm so frustrated with the government and the media and this culture at this point in my life that I don't think we have a chance anymore. Sorry for the negativity. And you know what, Rita? Listen, I am transparent with the audience, and I expect you guys to be transparent with me. If you feel that way and you're black-pilled and you want to get it off your chest, by all means, please do. That's what we're here for. Real talk. So, if you feel that way, that's okay. because a lot of people that understand what's happening to the world feel that way. So don't be upset about it. It's not negativity. It's just being a realist. I spoke with Trina for a bit today, and we were talking about the state of the world, and we kind of arrived at the whole black pill type of sentiment. So don't feel bad. You're not the only one. Ruben Christopher Haynes, hail, Ruben. He says, hail. The entire NWO/global elite now have meat appear. I have awoken. Nice. Very good. Now, and Ruben says, in reality, the mystery of truth is over 200 years old. Yes. Now, the thing that I wanted to move on to was we're going to go ahead and let Stephen do his topic, which was...
Yeah, I have, because I think they're going to be two shorter ones to talk about.
Okay.
So I kind of have two, but they'll be short ones. One started, according to Wikipedia, so it's definitely true.
Of course.
May 6th is when it started, supposedly. That was the monkeypox outbreak, the very quick and meteoric rise of monkeypox throughout the news media, and how it got hyped up. And Fauci was immediately out there like, we got a new booster for you monkeypox. And how all of that was going very well for the media. And they were talking about a new wave of shutdowns. They were really pushing it. And basically every American out there, at least the vast majority of Americans out there, gave them a big old middle finger all at once and said, fuck you, we're not doing that. We don't care what you say, how bad it is. And then how very quickly it dropped off again after it turned out that there were a lot of young boys and animals over in California who were getting monkeypox, and that there was pretty much only one demographic who was the key target for the particular disease. And they very quickly stopped talking about it and started calling people bigoted for things that were true.
How dare you be bigoted over a British cigarette?
Yes.
And I think
I just thought
in hiding now like Obi-Wan Kenobi or something, some cave somewhere.
Hashtag Kenobi me.
Yes, Kenobi.
So predictable.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, and even Chronos said it in the chat, what you were saying before we got on, Will. It's now Mpox. Yeah, I ain't calling it that. I ain't calling it Mpox.
Yeah, it's like calling. That's like that fucking.
It's
too close to that stupid
Free
thing.
speech gaming with his vulgarities.
It's too close to that thing like calling people BIPOC. I hate that.
Well, they should just call it the bend over pox, because that's basically what it is.
Nice, Santa.
For everyone. Just bend over and take it, baby.
Small time Bohica pox, yeah. Bend over. Here he comes again. Monkeypox is like a bad sequel. Nobody was interested. Nice.
Yeah, Gay Man Butt Flu 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That's it. That's a good one.
Hey,
I think Paramount's going to pass on that one.
Hail the Glinzer. He says too much monkey business. Oh,
Nice.
God. Chris Mead says, I'm not sure if I'm blackpilled or if I'm waiting for the big guy upstairs to continue the fire sale on rope to all the bad people. Honestly, dude, I could only hope for that. I'd like to see them all swinging, all these global traders, to be honest. So you and I mean, that is a dream. I hope that comes true one day.
Well, maybe they'll all get monkeypox. That'll
Terminus S says schlong COVID.
Yes.
Schlong close, yeah.
No, that's a name for something else, but we're just gonna.
We can all get that nowadays.
Oh, jeez, oh man. Oh, Chronos. Hey, we're the Mpox. The people say we Mpox around.
Hide all your children and dogs. We're gonna come to town.
Hail to JT Gunn, late night with Cap. What's going on, JT? Great to see you, buddy. JT is now kicking it with Arch the Icky, and they're doing After the Weekend as, sadly, our friend Maria, the Geeky Crochet, has kind of had to move on to the show for different time reasons, but I know it's in good hands with them too. So great to see JT hanging out. So Will, what was your topic you want to get into? Oh, actually, wait, Steven, didn't you have one more?
Oh, the other one, real quick, was the election, the Italian election that got the female white nationalist
Giorgia Meloni.
Nazi Giorgia Meloni. Yeah, we now have we have Italian fascists again, which I mean can only be a good thing at this point in time. So, or at least according to the mainstream media, it's Italian fascism
hey,
again.
listen, I like that lady. She's hot. She's fiery. She can make pasta. I mean, it's great, dude. It's great. I mean, she's every bit what I would want in a world leader.
What, the ability to cook?
Well, yeah, but women need to have the ability to cook, in my book.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, if you can't cook, you're off the Drew list for that one.
What do women have in common? No, I'm not going to go there.
Oh,
I mean, I'll listen.
Are you talking about cooking in the bedroom or outside the bedroom, Drew?
Oh God.
Well, you got to be careful cooking in the bedroom with Drew. Certain things are going to get burnt.
Well, real Italians don't use hot plates, so let's just get that out of the way.
I'll let you take this one, Will, because I'm not sure what that means.
It certainly is, Lasso. It certainly is. Very good. Very good. Awesome.
But
I don't know how to say awesome in Italian, but
Small Time Republic says
Please.
she's pro-human, and Big John says she's not scared of anyone. Yeah, absolutely. Maloney is a good leader. And JT, I hope you had a great Christmas too, my brother. I was really tickled to I've been the last few days just sending out mass messages to people because like my mom used to send out Christmas cards. Well, I send out text and I send out DMs, so it's continuing the tradition in a different way, but that's the way that I do it. I don't feel like if you just put out a tweet and just put out a big tag list, it's a lazy way of doing it. I like to personalize things, take my time, and tell, my people what they mean to me. I mean, that's just how it is. And you guys do mean a lot to me. So that's why I like to take the time and do that. Hail to Dwayne is in the house. Great to see you, brother. Love it. Tree Rock Creation says, how about cooking at fast food restaurants? Oh, man. Gap After Dark says, where's my dinner, bitch? Just kidding. That's the old saying. Oh, man. Rita says, they're fucking all of us up the arse, so we're probably going to get to the Mpox, the NWO dream. Yeah, they really are putting us over a barrel. I know that right now it definitely feels that way, Rita. But I think there's going to be a shift. So, just hang tight. Keely Chow says Drew has sent himself a few times in the Cleveland area by sliding down the chimneys of women's houses. Oh, thanks, Keely. Thank you for that. Oh, God.
Runs in dark places.
Yeah, just don't slide down the chimney with an erection. Man.
I don't have to worry about that.
But anyways, going over to Will, what was your topic?
This is why I love going last.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Janet. Would you like
so
to?
I'm not last. You're not last. That's what I meant. No, you go ahead. I'll go last.
Okay.
I have no problem with that.
Because mine's
Misogynist.
mine's not necessarily an event, but a series of events. Just it's just another summer of love with the number of mass shootings that took place. Be it in obviously Uvalde was the worst. The shopping, the grocery store in Buffalo, the one in Highland Park, the one in Colorado Springs. Colorado seems to be a hotbed for this kind of stuff. But I think it's just ironic that it coincided with, I believe it was over the summer, correct me if I'm wrong, that Biden signed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which, I mean, like, first of all, let's, a side note, who decides what these things are called?
Committees. Committees. They're like focus groups,
No,
but dumber.
I didn't mean that literal. I mean, like, just it's my way of saying what a ridiculous name for a bill. Transparent, poorly worded. And yeah, I know it was the first time in 30 years that Congress actually enacted a law that supposedly regulates gun ownership, gun control. I know a big part of that bill was obviously one of the big talking points in the last election, and it continues to be the whole concept of our mental health. But it's just that bill is just a microcosm of the lack of action that's been taken. And I'm not going to say there's a direct correlation between that bill, other bills, and the increasing abundance of these mass shootings. But it just seems like the more inaction under the guise of action that's being taken by the government, the more of these we see.
Yep. Trinoculus says the spirit of George Orwell names the bills. Godzillionaire says they hire PR.
I hope not. I usually give him more credit than that in terms of naming these things.
Trina says Drew's sitting up there like a 90s mommy, I think.
That's a good one.
Opening your Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Don't sit so close to the tree. Okay.
You know what they say though. I mean, we had this moment in 2022. We can't forget this one.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Point of order. Are you sure that wasn't older than 2022?
No, that was this year.
Oh, okay. Must have been early this year.
Yeah,
But I don't judge.
That was this year. But I do need some. I do need to get some more Biden clips because there are plenty of stupid Biden clips out there. So
I'm imploring you. I mean, you
get a whole trove of those.
Just go on a soundboard for Christ's sake.
Between Kamala and him, I mean, my goodness.
You need to get the clap, you stupid bastards.
I kind of want to get that Kwanzaa clip from the other day that Kamala Harris was.
I saw that one.
Oh, wait, let me guess.
I
haven't seen it. Let me guess. Kwanzaa is a holiday, and it's a holiday celebrated by people of African American descent.
And her
I think you got the last part right.
Her Jewish husband is just sitting there kind of looking over at her. And it was just so classic. It was classic Kamala, man. I was like, oh, Jesus. Good God. I mean, this administration is such a fucking clown show, though. It really is.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah, when the stories started coming out about the Kennedy assassination, my dad knew it was all crap. Yeah, and I'm glad that he woke up. Terminus S says, at Supreme Heretic on Christmas Eve, Drew was like, hey, girl, I've got a Yule log for you. And he slid his dong down her chimney. Hashtag beware the Drew.
Yule log for you.
Trina said they were acting like they've always celebrated Kwanzaa. They were. That thing was so fucking funny. Lasso Truth says, "What the fuck is Kwanzaa?" Yeah, it's
I'm not
actually
touching it, pal.
it was actually made by a dude that's an actual like legit murderer. which is hilarious in itself. The holiday was inspired by a guy who was an actual murderer, which was funny. But going over to Janet, what was your event of 2022?
Well, it wasn't in a single event. It was a massive amount of events where a man could dress up wearing fake boobs in skimpy outfits and parade around in front of children. And it's like ramped up and ramped up and ramped up. And it's not just that part of it. It's the fact that no one cares about it. People applaud it. People are standing in line with their children in tow to put money in these people's clothes at restaurants, and in the library. I mean, they don't care. And I don't understand it. Our children are our last hope for our world. Okay. And when all of our children are corrupted and thinking that it's okay to have your ding dong hanging out or your boobs hanging out when they're 5 years old, and think that that's normal, that's Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm sorry to say that. I mean, I'm not trying to be a huge, Bible thumper or anything like that. It's just shocked me. I mean, it's shocking to me that the country that I grew up in, that my dad served 34 years in the Air Force serving, is that this is normal. And that everyone just like, even in Texas, see, I was so shocked when I found out how much of this was going on in Texas, with this being a normal event, that this is nothing. If you had a sign, I've said this before, if you had a sign out in front of your library that says, come on in, bring in your kids, we're having a grown man that's wearing women's clothes and makeup, he's going to read out loud to your children. How many people would willingly walk in and take their kids to sit down? You wouldn't, because you're thinking about what it is you're showing your child. So, the fact that we're seeing every single day a video coming out from somewhere in the United States, even the South, even what you thought was the Bible Belt, it's not the Bible Belt anymore. All the cities in every single state are corrupting and reaching out like tentacles of filth. Basically, it's no longer where you just have to sneak around on the internet and go to the porn sites or the fetish sites and things like that anymore. It's everywhere. I mean, you can't turn on the TV without a commercial saying that it's okay to be a man and you can have a baby, a man can have a baby, or a man swimming in a woman's swimming event, clearly with a penis. Okay, but he's supposed to be a woman. So all the things, the bra burners and all the women that ran around trying to make women's lib some big deal. I'm not a feminist, but all these women that worked hard for women to have the right to vote and the women to have jobs and have equal treatment under the law is basically going down the toilet now, because I'm not even a woman, even though I was born with these and all the other parts to give birth to a baby. I am no longer a woman, because we have a Supreme Court justice that can't even say what a woman is.
Well, Janet,
where are we going from here? How far much down? I'm sorry, I'm speechless. I'm heartbroken over it. I don't know how we're supposed to recover for it. All the children that have been damaged by this now, how do we help them? How do we get them back to a normal childhood?
Well,
what do we do?
You got some comments, Janet, so I'll go ahead and let you read them.
I'm sorry, I wasn't reading anything. I was busy just doing this. Okay, it says, Janet, they're trying to bait people into violence. They want to one-up St. Floyd for trans St. Floyd. Don't get baited, just humiliate the participants and parents. And that's what I try to do. I really do. I really try to do that. But what's sad is you can humiliate the parents. We should be arresting these parents. That's child abuse. To take a child into a strip bar is child abuse, and they should be arrested for it.
Glenzer makes a great comment. And hail Glenzer, belated Merry Christmas, sir. Glenzer says, if Janet's not a woman, then Shaquille O'Neal is a 5 foot tall white guy. Yeah, I mean, agreed.
I am a woman, but it's sad, isn't it? To think about our Supreme Court justice doesn't know, she can't define a woman, and she's supposedly a woman.
You know what?
I mean,
I find
it's
it
sad.
ironic. I find it ironic, and I'm not. I may be diverting from this just from your point just a little bit here, but I find it ironic that the powers that be, the government right now, is not only supporting but like almost endorsing this lifestyle.
Mhm.
At the same time, the whole campaign of the last election season and ever since has really been about mental health and what makes up a good portion of the cases of suicide, attempted suicide, depression. Who's being prescribed most of the antidepressant pharmaceuticals? I mean, it's just they just go hand in hand. It's complete hypocrisy on both ends.
Terminus
Well,
S
that's-
says, and hold on, Stephen, I'll get right to you. But Terminus S says, at Supreme Heretic, real women work hard to be on the swim team. Trans women work their balls off to get on the swim team.
The bad thing is, though, if they had their balls off, completely off, and they had a vag made, then they would be more of a woman. But with a wanger as a rudder, to me, that is not a woman swimming on a woman's team. I mean, honestly, the guy still had a winger.
Oh,
that is some extra steering.
He's
Oh,
in the
man.
women's restroom changing and stuff with the other women on the team. And how can
Throwing
that
away
be
my
fair?
thesauruses.
I mean, it's not right.
Then he walks into you saying Wanger. That was the best.
Oh, Benny,
Well,
you're right on
I could
time,
say
bro.
penis and be like everyone else, but I'm not like anyone else.
I love that you said Wanger.
You are an
No.
individual, Janet.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
everyone.
I'm
But
proud
that
to be
was-
me. I'm proud to be a
Vinny.
woman.
Gotta be you.
What's up, Vinny?
You know?
Did I walk in on Janet saying Wanger?
Yes,
Yep.
you did.
Fantastic.
Perfect time.
Few seconds
That was
late.
the best.
You rolled
Oh,
She'll
in.
probably say it again at some point.
Oh man. Stephen, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, we were talking about Will was saying that it seems like it's all trying to get people onto more medication. You know, when you look at the prescription
pharmaceutical
medication,
companies.
the pharmaceuticals, and all of that
Mhm.
stuff. And yeah, it basically is. The DSM, the latest edition of the DSM, I believe we're still on 5, was actually changed in order to. I think it was actually a few editions back. They made gender dysphoria its own mental illness, and then they slowly, sort of, and quietly took it off. But they kept a lot of the comorbidities and a lot of the markers for it, so that they could still prescribe certain things to it as if it were a mental illness, while not calling it a mental illness, so that they can avoid certain insurance charges, and then tell the parents, if you don't do this, your kid's gonna, self-delete.
Yeah, so your kid can now get hormone therapy without their parents' permission, just by going to their
Mhm.
school counselor saying, I feel like a woman,
Mhm.
or I feel like a little boy, or a kitty cat. I need a litter box to poo-poo in at school. It's nuts.
And it
amazing
all
how
leads
things
to
have
more
changed
money.
with guidance counselors.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was in 8th grade, the sole job of my guidance counselor was to invite me in, ask me a few questions, and say, "You should go into welding." That was pretty much it.
I just want to hear Janet say, "Hello, Hans Cock."
Hello, what?
Hans Kopp.
Hans Cock.
Hans Cock? Oh, hello. Hans Cock.
It's been a minute since I've been on here, so I wasn't doing any Harrison Ford for a while.
Vinny, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, if you had to pick one of the big stories of 2022, what stuck out to you
Oh, Jesus.
that you felt really passionate about?
That I felt passionate about?
Yeah.
This whole year fucking sucked. Dude, I'd have to say those. I'd have to definitely say the laptop.
The Hunter Biden laptop. Okay.
I'm sorry, dude. That should have been it for everything. We had corruption. We had everything that was in there. That whole administration is just pure poison. And dude, my mind's still blown at all this shit. How corrupt it all is from top to bottom. That none of this shit even matters. Like it's common knowledge now for everyone, but it's just everyone shrugs their shoulders. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah, I totally get it, but this is the thing. I mean, that we've seen across it, even with Janet's point that she was just mentioning, like the explosion in grooming that we've seen this year out in the open.
Yeah.
What they're doing with kids and the drag queen story hours and all
Well,
of this
again,
crazy shit.
I think the laptop hits it all. I mean, I'm sorry, but look at Hunter. What's the tattoo he has on his back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like the central hub for that shit in America.
Yep.
And everyone's like, yeah, everyone's fine with that. Is that what that is? Okay, no one understands what it is. Dude, I'm ready to go full Jones again. Because these people are a bunch of fucking scumbags. Every last one of them. All right, tribunals, we got to do it all. We got to hang them high. Whatever we got to do. And remember, go get your Dick Wanger pills at Force.com. Thank you.
but Vinny. And I was talking to Trina earlier today.
Mhm.
You almost can't help but get to that. With the way shit's going right now, you almost can't help but get to that black pilled area where it's like, where it's just like, how do you keep hope? How do you, sit there and say it's going to get better when you see all of basically the West coming down around our ears right now?
Mhm.
Because the governments are all fucking infiltrated. Klaus Schwab is sitting there gloating. We penetrate the cabinets,
Oh yeah.
but look, how far from top to bottom is each country's government corrupted? The only thing, like I said, and I'm happy for you guys that are Italian here, that are of Italian heritage, because Maloney can hold it up a little bit with her in charge. But man, the other countries are going to shit rapidly.
Yeah. I voted for her, by the way.
Yeah.
I have dual citizenship.
Yeah, and and it's good. She's a saving grace, Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
But
she is.
But
dude, you had to see the leftover there went insane. They couldn't believe it, and I'm sorry, but everything she was saying was fact. It sounds like she was in America running for as a Republican, or that's the equivalent to it. And she's the only one that isn't bought and paid for.
She ran on values that we all should have.
Yep.
And that's exactly it. She ran on normalcy and values, and also national pride. Nobody wants to see Italy slide into authoritarianism or be run by a group of unelected thugs, which is what the globalist cabal is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but this is happening far too much in the other countries. They're compromised. America is so compromised right now, it's not even funny, and people can't even see that.
Yeah.
Because they've done it. They've done all of this in little tiny increments over the years, and just like they said, it's been a slow indoctrination of our children in school, little by little. But as we pull our kids out of school and we start to homeschool them, we're going to start taking the control away from them. And the children that are growing up in those environments are the ones that are going to be able to take over and say to the government. But the thing is that what I'm afraid is going to happen before this administration is gone is they're going to say that any kid that doesn't go to school and get the right stuff is not going to get a diploma. They're not going to give them the stuff they need to graduate, to have that piece of paper to go to college or to do anything else, because they don't want you to be able to raise your child with your process.
Well,
they want their process.
And they want to punish anyone who has old school values and to be normal.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, they're going to punish those people, and then they're gonna keep propping up the horrible monsters and the bullshit, or the dumb people who are getting brainwashed. Again, it's not their fault either in most cases. It's like you said, it's slowly they've been putting this poison into the water, basically, and eventually it's like, oh well, why is everyone sick? Well, that's why. It's because you guys have been doing it, like you said, slow increments. But it is the frog in the boiling pot. That's exactly what they did to us. And like Drew was saying, Schwab is sitting there gloating. these people, they've been saying it forever. His lackey, I forgot, Ari Sharad or some shit like that.
Yeah,
that little weirdo. The shit that comes out of his mouth. Oh my god, dude! If they could walk around town shooting people, they would. You know,
Yeah.
that's how out in the open they are about it. And their little
dude,
their
they
little
would be
speeches.
fine with slaughtering people in the streets, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't even care.
Well, that's why 42 there is ending, so that they could do that. More criminals, more drugs,
Yeah.
more all that poison.
And the Supreme Court, by the way, this is breaking news today, guys. They held up Title 42. It's staying.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that is a
Wow.
shock. Thank
Nice.
God.
Yes. So the Supreme
I didn't
Well,
Court.
see
it's
that one
5-4.
The
I think.
Supreme.
Oh,
the
hey,
Supreme-
yeah, of course it's got to be
The
close.
Supreme Court did a good thing. So,
For a
I will
change.
give them credit that they did their job, thankfully.
Usually
Right.
it's 5-4.
But they still
Well,
have
5 of them did.
well, but they
4,
still
5,
have
5,
to
4.
change. But they still have to change and fix things because I'm sorry. They said about 6 million have been pouring in so far. We know that number's way higher.
Oh God,
It's
Way
at least
higher.
double that.
Yeah,
easily,
I'd
probably
say
triple
triple.
that.
Mhm.
At least double. Yes.
Vinny, go ahead and read Rita's comment that's highlighted there because that goes along with your point.
Well, that they're using everything to reduce the population, viruses, medication. Well, can we say all of this stuff on? Because I don't want to hit your channel either.
No, you're fine, Vinny. Listen,
If it
Okay.
hasn't happened yet.
I am.
Okay.
If YouTube wants to be fascist, I am not
Yeah.
afraid of them.
Oh, I know, because they had got me for a Fauci bit I did. But yeah, viruses, medications, violence, crime, race war, poverty, starvation, sexism, education, corruption against each other in every way possible. That's exactly what they're doing. It straight up is. It's monstrous.
did it.
If we get shut down, we'll just blame Rita.
Yeah, no, listen. It's
Well, we
not,
paused in between, so maybe the bots couldn't catch it.
it's not Rita's fault because she's
No,
speaking
it's not
truth.
Rita's fault.
We're all speaking truth. And the Big John says, look at AOC. She's a prime example of a brainwashed generation. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. Oh my God, this is great. Free speech. Spank the like button with your wanger.
Yeah.
Chronos says, my wanger just spanked it.
Steven, be a man. Say it out loud.
Spank the like button with your wanger.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
Carrie Fisher used to
Jesus.
snort coke off my wanger.
I'm cool. I got an earring. See,
I bet she did.
she did. She did.
She nicknamed me good old Hans Cock.
I love it. Oh, we'll go to the one that I wanted to do that I feel passionate about this year is what a sham the January 6th committee was.
Oh God.
And hail to low spec Linux laptop, by the way. As you guys know, going back to the actual event, I was there. Will was also there. We saw with our own two eyes the difference in the way that it was reported, the entire narrative built around it, just the absolute bending of truth that there was. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have this sham committee to literally make up criminal charges and everything else for not only President Trump, but for anybody that was involved. Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
The footage that they used was doctored, everything else. They had they had an ABC News producer putting together the footage for them.
Yeah.
So of course it was manipulated.
And explain the suppression of, what was it, 42,000 hours? It was some crazy number. No, 14,000 hours of footage, which means this is weeks. There was weeks in preparation. That why isn't that submitted into evidence? Why wasn't Ray Epps arrested? Why wasn't Nancy Pelosi pulled into all this? And she's the one who denied help multiple times before, during, and after. So someone explain that to me. But yeah, we have Dick Cheney's daughter sitting there going, yeah, he's evil and he'll never run for president again. We're gonna stop that. And then you have fucking Fang Fang's boyfriend over there who's crying and shitting on himself.
Swallows
on TV.
well.
Yeah, that son of a bitch. You know,
And
yeah,
how much money of the tax dollars of all of us have they spent on this sham? And not one person has been charged with insurrection. Not one.
exactly.
I'll tell you.
And they're still sitting. Some are still sitting in jail waiting for their.
Wasn't all
You
of
wanna
them who have
know-
been arrested? They're all still sitting there.
Some.
Well, no,
You
some
wanna
some
know
are
what the
out.
ultimate
Got
gift
out.
is, though?
Plea
ultimate
deals
gift
and stuff.
The ultimate gift for me was being there and then going home. I got the fuck out of Washington that day. I like as soon as I heard about it. When it started, I was over near the Washington Monument. I caught the metro and I went straight to Dulles. I just got the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
And by the time I got home that night, you're talking about all the hours of footage that were edited down. It was almost as if they were producing not just really a
TV
documentary
series.
as much as just a like. But the point is,
The Truman Show.
that night, it was as if that like you would expect this kind of stuff to be done for like something that you would see like the next year, like looking back a year, this is what we put together. It was on like that night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't even try to tell me that there wasn't, backdoor channels and this kind of thing wasn't, scripted to a certain extent. I got hot there. I can't.
Terminus at Supreme Heretic. Drew, you should go down to the border to help stop the illegals. Just flop it down and say, try climbing over this. Hashtag beware the truth. Nice.
It's rounded, so there's nowhere you can get like good traction for climbing on.
Drew, let's do it. You on one end, me on the other.
There you go.
I feel like my last point interrupted this whole thing, and for that I apologize.
Yeah, Pinochet's helicopter tour says James Comey's daughter was the lead prosecutor on the Maxwell trial. She is directly responsible for hiding black book names and covering up for the government. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And again, I feel so passionate about January 6th. It's not just the reason because I was there. All right. I've gotten, I've reached out and actually they're going to be on the program soon when we can figure out the scheduling for it. But I've heard the stories directly from two different guys that were locked up, Coy Griffin and also Derek Evans. And they were locked up in the DC gulag and they have their own stories to tell. It was horrific that grandmother that just walked into the Capitol that had cancer was locked up in the fucking DC gulag.
Yep.
There's no reason in this country that is a constitutional republic that we should ever have political prisoners on American soil. That is not how this country works. That's not how it's remotely supposed to work. And you're damn right. I am going to give these guys a platform to tell their stories. And I know that when I do that show and I have these gentlemen on, either on the same episode or one after the other, okay, YouTube is going to come after me. You guys know it. I know it. They're going to try to censor me immediately when I have these guys on to tell their story because they will speak the truth. And it is just an absolute shame what happened with that whole thing. And I know somebody in the chat also mentioned, what happened to the pipe bombs. Yeah, we never got the story on those. So again, you see the element here. You had such a multi-layered operation that was meant to demonize a large swath of the voting public. They didn't like the fact that there was a populist movement and people were calling the government into question. So what do? They're going to punish the people. But I'll tell you what, they keep that shit up and eventually there will be people to stand up. And even though some good people will end up losing their lives over it, that is going to light a fire that they are going to wish that they never ever lit in their lifetime. And I can promise you that. Because I'll tell you, that flag behind me, that headstone that my dad has in Arlington, the patriotism and love that I feel for this country, I'm willing to lay that on the line. I'm willing to die in the street for it. Because I damn well believe in this country, and I will die for it.
Yeah.
To kind of piggyback on your point about the political prisoners here in the country, just like two things about it. One is Brandon Stracha, the guy who kind of pretty much started or at least popularized the walk away movement. I, for a while, I basically believed the propaganda that came out about him, saying that he was leading people, charging the police lines, and he was right up at the front, and he actively attacked people, was calling for revolution. Like I had read those things, and I basically immediately believed him without doing more research into it. The problem is I couldn't do more research into it because the news media had a stranglehold on the information coming out about it. It turns out he got charged not for something that he said, but for something that he recorded somebody else saying, and they just, without evidence, without any actual proof beyond a preponderance, claimed that he said, I can't remember what it was. It was something along the lines of like, get in there, attack them, some very vague, violent thing. They claimed that he said that, and he was not allowed. I mean, basically said, prove that I actually said that, because I didn't. I just recorded it. And they said, no, it's good enough. You're going to prison for 9 months. And pretty much he got put in a catch-22 to where either he was going to do, I think he did like 9 months or a year in prison, and then he has to do like another 2 years probation. It was either that, or they were going to throw the entire book at him, and he could have done up to like 15 years in prison. So it was kind of a crap situation for him on that. And I forgot my second point, so I'll let that go.
Basically, what's happening with all the January 6th is they rounded up all the people they wanted because they left out conveniently a lot of people that should have been brought up there. They left them out there on video saying things and doing things and trying to get other people to do it, but none of them ever went before any of them. So what they're doing is holding them until they can figure out what to charge them with, basically.
Ray Epps,
it's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, Ray Epps, the other guy, the BLM guy, Sullivan, the guys that were caught on video changing, into uniforms that you could see on video, because we've seen that piece of video around. I know you have. I know a lot of us have. All right. Where are those people? Why are those agitators not locked up? Why was that cop that shot Ashley Babbitt not locked up?
Yeah. Like you said, that guy, he had left his gun in the bathroom. He had a couple of incidences where this guy should have been fired a long time ago. But you're right. He murders a woman in cold blood, and that's just A-okay. And then you have news reporters literally saying that an officer was beaten to death with a fire extinguisher. That was all bullshit. They had the whole mock funeral thing for him too, which I think they said that he was cremated anyway. So like the whole thing was bullshit, top to bottom. But again, why did they make such a big deal out of January 6th? Why? It's because Trump stopped them from making their money. He was the guy who was in their way, because I'm sorry, all those billions of dollars, everything is going out the window, trillions with all these bullshit bills. And how is it that America's way worse with all this spending and all the things that they're doing, but yet all these politicians, they're multimillionaires. AOC wasn't making the money that she is now when she first came in. Where did all this money come from? And people are okay with this. They should go through all their tax papers. All right, you want to go after Trump? Fine, go after him for his tax.
Yes,
you want to go
I
ahead.
want to see them all.
Yeah. Show how much he lost. Yeah, because I'm sorry, he's the only fucking president who lost money while being president. Fine, okay. Now we should go after Pelosi. We should have to go after AOC. All of them, Biden's. Let's see all their tax information, where they got all their money from. Why don't we do a whole breakdown then for all of America and all the world to see? Because they're all fucking crooked. If you want more proof, Drew, I just sent you in the United Resistance. You'll see a bunch of army people there.
There was that Vinny, that's confirmed. There was
I know. Our friend Jones also said that that individual also was involved in some gay adult movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one guy, that other guy, yeah, the other quote Capitol Police guy. Um,
I'm
Hey,
saying
Drew,
the one overseas who's getting all these
Yeah.
billions of dollars right now.
can you read Tree Rock Creations post? I think it's a good one.
Let me get to it because I got a couple. I got a couple of them I wanted to get to.
Doesn't contain the word wanger, does it?
You know,
Okay.
Drew, people won't do anything until they lose everything, and by then it will be too late. History has proved this. What makes you think that the U.S. is an exception to history? Well, you know, Tree Rock, it's because I still believe in the spirit of patriots and the true American people. Glenzer says smuggling hash out of Russia will get you out of jail faster than exercising your First Amendment. Yeah, it is.
Well,
It
you
is.
have to be a WNBA player that can dunk. That's
Yeah,
the only way that it matters.
Who was once
That's
a man.
important to our society.
Papa Cotton Wood says Clown World has pushed some people who are conservative but centrist into exactly the fascist the left has been calling the right this whole time. I've watched it happen real time. You know, Rita says Tree Rock Creation says, I don't want the U.S. to fail, but how do you fight a government that we fund?
Mhm.
Right. You know,
You have to
and
defund them. That
yeah,
means
you
don't
have
pay
to-
taxes.
But you know
Exactly.
what? But the Federal Reserve is still in their pocket. So what does that mean? That means they're just going to print more money anyway. They're always going to be.
Well,
printing
they're
more.
gonna get that money
this
one
is
way or
one of the
another, and if you wanna
reasons
go to
why
prison,
they
that's
want to go
fine.
digital, because you can't be defunded if they control all the money and all, with the flip of a switch,
Yeah, it's
right?
all.
They
Yeah,
can take whatever they want. That's why they want
more
digital
smoke
money.
and mirrors, more smoke and mirrors, and more excuses to stop anyone who is who's talking against them. Again, this is communism all the way.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
disgusting.
we are in the midst of, you know, we have the appearance of a quote free country, but we are every bit under communism. It's not even soft communism. It's going into a harder form of communism. So, you know, it's right there. Hail TZ Burton, and Merry Christmas to you. Also, Merry Christmas to Jada Nisa Chaos.
Yeah.
Great to see you in
Yeah,
the chat.
Burton said it too. Yeah, that the Fed is already digital. Yeah, they did it.
Yeah,
They did do it.
they digitalized that already. You know, and all of this stuff is happening more rapidly. They want they're panicked. They are panicked because they can't, I guess, continue the simulation, the split reality for too much longer, because more people every day are saying, man, this is not adding up. So you got more people every day kind of, picking up on it. And that's why they're trying to move with a breakneck speed that that they can get away with it. Now, you know, it's up for debate, and this is where we go into black pill territory, because are we going to be able to mount any sort of resistance or essentially save humanity in time? That remains to be seen. But the power lies with us. You can't sit there, and I want to also welcome in Bruce Lombardo.
Hey, Bruce.
You know, Bruce has a great channel. Nice. Nice. And
hey man, who shit my pants? My butt's been wiped.
Who shit my pants? But you know,
I need to whip Asian girls tied up in the back.
Sorry.
but you know,
used to touch my leg.
It's Corpo Oligopoly, says Pinochet's helicopter's yours. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. But the thing is with all of this, I do think humanity can mount a stand. It's just a matter of, you know, can we all network enough to do it in the time, in the window that we need to. That is what is going to be, you know, the thing that remains to be seen. Tree Rock Creations, Benny, agrees with your point. You are right. I didn't think of the printing money in the Federal Reserve. Yeah, I mean that's a big
even if states secede, the government will just continue to print money. Yes, they will.
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's digital.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
gotta get me one of those
They can do-
machines.
Yeah, they can do anything they want.
That's why bartering, us bartering is going to be very, very important, especially even if we, if we get enough states to leave the union and our states barter with each other without using the digital currency. There is ways around it. It's just that it's going to take us as individuals to figure out a way to be able to do it. So that
Well,
we don't
if there is rumors that I've heard, and I've talked about this with other sources that I have, and things of that nature. Now I've heard that there is a petition for a convention of states actually going around.
Mhm.
I
I think we only need 3 more states.
and so
Less than a handful of states.
How many do you have to have?
Is it 16 or 17 or something like that?
31, I thought.
Oh, I didn't think it was that many. But
Well,
from
Well, I would
last
think it would
I
have to be
read,
some kind of a small minority.
I think there was 3. We needed 3 more states or something like that. The last I heard,
I
and
don't
that
know.
they were in the process of it.
Yep. Papa Cotton says Titanic was sunk on purpose to silence dissenters to the formation of the Federal Reserve. Yeah, there are some interesting people out there.
Yeah, they were very some very rich fellows over there who were saying no to the Fed.
Central bank digital currency equals ESG score. Yes, it does, TZ Burton. Exactly. And this goes right into Dwayne's question, because all of it's connected. Can or will we ever have a fair election again? And he answered no. The answer is no on that.
Never.
Because you can sit there and try to have all the measures you want to have a fair election. But when you have things happening like ballot harvesting, adding things after the fact, allowing, a wide, like a complete wide net of people to basically do ballots how they feel like doing them, with no, chain of custody, no auditing. Well,
No regulation of any kind, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I played a clip on my channel a couple weeks ago of one of the guys who worked on those machines, and he said it. He goes, "Listen, I don't care if America does want to go and become a communist country. He goes, fine, let them vote for it fairly. He goes, this is not fair. He goes, I know what it is, and I'm sorry, you cannot outvote a machine. It's rigged." He said this in front of a jury or whatever. And when his time was up there, they're like, stop applauding. They were telling everyone to stop applauding. Stop applauding. The guy literally worked in the machines, and he said it straight out. He goes, yeah, we can't outvote a machine. This is designed for us to lose. He goes, now, if America wanted to do this, if go ahead, vote, let them vote. But no, that's not the case. And we know this because how many people were furious what the hell happened on all those elections? Kerry Lake, they came out, they said, yeah, it was officially stolen, but the judge shrugged his shoulders, went, too bad, too late.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah. What kind of nonsense is that?
That's the catch-22 with these. Anytime the lawsuits come up, of if you start your lawsuit before the election happens, you're preemptive, and therefore it gets thrown out. If you do it after the election happens, it's too late. Sorry, it gets thrown out. Yeah. There's no way for us to address grievances against these elections that are happening. All we can do is expose the corruption that happens so that we can talk about it. That's unfortunately what's currently happening, and it's only looking worse if they do actually manage to federalize the elections, although I find that very unlikely. That would take an amendment to the Constitution.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But
it's highly unlikely.
And then on top of all that too, the person or people who are actually fighting against it, they're then labeled deniers, election deniers. So then they get mocked and scorned in front of their peers anyway, and not taken seriously. And then because all the media is all tied together and they're being paid as well, all the stupid late night talk show hosts, and then they continue to make fun of those people, and they try to make it like it's hip, it's funny that all these conservatives and anyone who's trying to win an election fairly are a fucking joke. That's what they're trying to do. This is just bullshit, top to bottom. You're right. It's poison.
Well, there's a way out, Tree Rock. You know, I know you say you can't see a way out. I see a way out. It's called lock and load and full on fucking revolt. You know, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like I'm advocating violence and war, but at this point, yeah,
But it's what they want.
you know, it's time to stand up. You know, those of us that understand what's happening here, okay, we're all working on different fronts to desperately hang on to our country. Now, that means those of us that understand what's happening, and that's why I say we need to continue to network. We need to continue to be close to one another because we're the only ones that are going to watch each other's back. There is no, you know, superhero coming. There's nobody that's going to save you. The only person that will save anyone are the people themselves. And that is, and that's why, you know, I always try to tell people, don't put any one person on a pedestal. There's a danger in that. You know, they're not, these people are not immortal. They're not, you know, because I've seen so much Elon worship since the Twitter thing. Same thing, you know, I love President Trump, you know, by God, I love the guy. But at the same time, when he does dumb shit, I'll criticize him if he deserves it. I'm not a sycophant. I'm not in a cult for any of these people. And that is one of the things that you have to maintain is the discernment. The discernment is important. And, you know, that's why the average people, like all of us, those of us on the panel, those of us in the chat, that's why we need to talk and we need to network because we're the people that are going to save our country. And no, Godzillionaire, I definitely did not buy a Trump NFT. It's funny. You know, I will tell you this, you know, in all honesty, as I said, I'm a fan of President Trump, but look, all right, it gets ridiculous.
That was
donated
so ridiculous.
I donated $5. I want to say back to was it last year when he had his rally here in Ohio by me. He had a rally about 3-4 towns away. And I never got a chance to go to it, but I donated $5 to the Save America cause or whatever. And man, like the amount of spam I get every day from these fucking people, you know, oh, don't donate double now, donate this now. It's absolutely ridiculous.
The Republican Party needs your money.
Which, by the way, you know, not to go off on a tangent here, folks, but those of you that are registered Republicans, please, please, please support Harmeet Dillon because she is going to be much better as an RNC chair than Ronna McDaniel ever was.
Yep.
You know, Harmeet Dillon is a good lawyer. She's a sharp lady, and she's going to know how to, you know, run the RNC anyway. Now, as far as the assholes that are in our government, well, we need to primary some of these people out yesterday.
I would love to see that.
Well, so much of it
than it did in November.
So much of it, Bruce, is the uniparty because you know you've just got fake people sitting there acting like they're putting up a fight, but they put up a lot of bluster. They go on Fox News and boast what they're going to do, and then they don't do shit. So you know, if you look, all you have to do, guys, is look at who voted for the omnibus bill, and I call it the omnibus bill, not the omnibus bill. You look who voted for that, and the Republicans you see on there, and I was very disappointed. I kind of half expected Rubio to be on there, but fucking Tom Cotton voted for it. Come on, man. I
was surprised.
I was really disappointed, but these people are selling us out.
Yep.
So
They got their pockets greased, just like Crenshaw. He talked a big game before he got into office. The second he got in, his stocks went up, his overall financial profile went up, and he started selling us out.
Wow.
Yep.
That's why so many people like Trump, because even though he was the rallies, people were like, he was just huge, like a rock star, basically, is how people looked at him, and the huge crowds and everything. But he did everything he said he was going to do. He did it without having Congress or the Senate behind him. You know what I mean? He had to make so many decisions and do executive orders, but he tried to do everything. Okay. That's why people like him, because he actually went in there saying what he was going to do, and he went in there and he tried to do it. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. He made stupid mistakes because of COVID and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, that's why people like him, because he's not a regular swamp politician.
Well, here's the problem.
A lot of people, have a hard time with that. They don't want somebody they can't control in there.
Well, here's the problem, Janet. Okay. Even if he were to come out in 24 and win, because listen, I would love to see a Trump Kerry Lake ticket, because and Will and I have talked about that privately before. I mean, him and Kerry Lake together would be absolutely ridiculously awesome, as far as just with her ability to be able to talk and hold an audience. I mean, she's fucking amazing.
Yep.
But the thing is,
there'd be campaigns for a second and third vice presidential debate if that were the case. I mean, the way as well spoken as she is.
Oh yeah, but the thing
even though there's only one right now.
The thing is, and again, Tony's right on this one. She doesn't have experience, and the thing is, when it comes down to it, there's less and less people that he can even assemble for a cabinet that are trustworthy and not going to be corrupted, that aren't on either the take from the WEF or from China.
Well, look at our borders are. That should say everything. Of Kerry Lake, you don't think she could do it? I think she could.
I give a lot of money to Kerry Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. We have Kamala Harris there.
The bar is not set too high, only about 42 inches up, and that's where the talling starts.
That's right. And Montel has been tapping that. So
the most entertaining vice presidential debate since Palin versus Biden.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Holy shit.
I wanted to go over to Bruce, because he's done the solid of waiting nicely. But Bruce, what was your big thing, I think, for 2022 that was your takeaway, like your big story that just stuck out to you?
When we have Lurch Part 2 in Pennsylvania, and he can't get lower than a 60% approval rating from his party. And I know Pennsylvania's got some winners there. There are even some Democrats that might be like JFK Democrats, but they're giving us Lurch. And I'm an Illinoisan that lives in Texas. I vote like a Texan, not like an Illinoisan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not dead. And
right.
I'm watching Lurch get promoted. He beats everybody in primaries. And Sean Hannity, as much as I can't stand Sean Hannity, he's on like 4 of the AM stations here. So whatever he's talking about, eventually I'm going to hear it. And he's got a hate boner for Lurch. And if you don't know who Lurch is, yeah.
Gazillionaires. That giant lump
right
on the
there.
back of his head, that one.
Yeah, and this guy's got like a serious tumor coming out of his neck, and he just looks just so weird. And he's made it without a debate. He's got 70% of the Democrat vote and 100% of the dead vote in Pennsylvania. And then they do the debate a week before the voting.
Good night,
And
everybody.
everybody's like, oh look, he's going to do so well. He's like, I've always supported fracking. I've always supported fracking. I've always supported fracking. I like fracking. Fracking good. Yep. Nobody fucking questioned him. What the fuck happened? You guys are like the goddamn Corky. The fuck, Pennsylvania? You guys frack. You frack. You're goddamn northern Texas. What the fuck? You motherfuckers.
In all fairness, I'm just gonna say this. In all fairness, I think it was a goiter. That's all I'm gonna say.
A goiter.
And then
it's not a tumor.
Thank you.
George Lucas is somewhere playing with his goiter going, you're wrong. You're wrong. That's under my chin. It's not in the back of my head.
And then we start looking at, okay, why is his wife Jill Bidening him around? And you find out that she's just basically an immigrant from Brazil or Colombia, one of those places where nepotism will get you everywhere. And that's exactly where it got her. She met John Fetterman Lurch, and she's got
I thought she was a mail order bride.
She's a mail order bride. She's
on
fertile.
90 Day Fiancé.
She's making more Lurch, and then she's puppeteering him like Jill Biden puppeteers her miserable resident husband.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fucking stand watching this shit. When I saw this happen in November, I threw my hands up. I'm like, the nation's fucked. I can only take care of Central South Texas. You guys figure out the rest. I'll do everything I can to help with getting us to primary Abbott, primary Cruz, primary Cornyn, and primary fucking Crenshaw. All those C's start with the word cunt. Oh, wait, damn it. Damn it. There was a joke somewhere.
It was a show until you said that.
But I've only had one beer. I've not even had my full beer of preamble yet. This is really good beer.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway from 22. Like, it feels like no matter what, how much common sense you just flaunt out there, you throw that bowling ball out there, and everybody's like, "Oh, look, it's in the gutter. It's a strike. You got to make it a strike." And that's Fetterman. Fetterman's a goddamn trophy candidate. You got to give him a trophy. He came to the bowling tournament. Go ahead, guys. I'm trying.
No, the Time Prophet says, at Supreme Heretic, I am waiting for Bruce Lombardo to paint his fingernails black by accident live on stream. Welcome back, Gap. Gap is back. And also, I want to say hello to the Sentinel who popped in the chat earlier, and great to see you, brother. Hope you had a nice Christmas, Sentinel. And listen, we got so much wrong, but I think 23 is going to be a good year of starting up a resistance. And don't ask me how I've got that hope or why I can feel that hope. I just feel it in my gut, and as black-pilled as I may be on some things, I just have that sense of hope.
We can't be playing defense anymore.
And I feel like there's going to be something. I know 2023, by the way, folks, is going to be big for this show because, as I said, I am going to get the J6, the former J6 prisoners scheduled. I'm going to have both Coy Griffin on and Derek Evans. And I'm also going to try to get, there's a gentleman that runs a site called stophate.org or something like that, or stophate.com. It's one of the two. But he's got thousands of hours of footage and everything else, and he directly supports the J6 prisoners, and that's a big That's a big cause for me. That is a big cause for me. I am fully behind that cause. And then there was some big news today behind the scenes, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And some of our folks on the panel know. I don't think Vinny and Bruce know yet, though, but I actually got a message from Laura Loomer today.
Nice.
And I am going to have at some point Laura Loomer on United Resistance. And I'm just gonna let Laura Loomer do what she does best and just spit the truth. Because that lady, she spares no casualties. She spits verbal fire at everybody, even Republicans that sell out. She will go ham on anybody. So
Good.
I'm gonna have Laura Loomer on and have a good conversation with her. And I'm looking forward to getting her scheduled for the program. But she did reach out and she said that she would love to do it. So at some point, she will be on the show coming up in 2023. Well, no, Trinoculus. That was Laura Logan we had on. Different Laura. It's Laura Logan is Lara. This is Laura Loomer, and Laura Loomer is like Laura Logan on steroids.
Oh, I've got the definition for Laura Loomer here, brought to you straight from Wikipedia. This is a perfectly fair and honest, clean description of Laura Elizabeth Loomer is an American far-right and anti-Muslim political activist, white nationalist, conspiracy theorist, and internet personality.
Oh, wow.
Well, I wouldn't say that she's
Nothing about her being a journalist.
Nope,
Not one
nope,
thing.
that's not one thing.
Hmm.
Doesn't even mention she's a woman.
Pitiful.
You think that it's Wikipedia. You think they'd be all about like, hey, look, we got more women in polito. Wait, hang on.
Actually, I would have said it the other way around. I mean, like,
Laura
I'm surprised
Loomer-
that they didn't identify her as a woman.
Laura Loomer has actually run for Congress before, you know, and yeah, T.Z. Burton puts it about right. They try to call her like a Jewish Nazi, which is funny.
Yeah.
She's been canceled. Obviously, she had a huge Twitter ban that lasted, my God, she was banned for like 2 years.
I remember her video where she went to Facebook and nobody would talk to her. Then she went over to YouTube's HQ because they're all on the same road, right? For some odd reason, all of these stupid social networks are on the same freaking road in Silicon Valley. So if you got a problem with one, you just go to one, and it's almost as easy as opening a new account on Twitter. Just drive in, pull in to the guest parking, walk into YouTube, drive out. 2 minutes later, driving into the guest parking of Twitter, drive out, drive into the guest parking of Meta. And I remember her being on at Facebook, and they did not. Once I identified her, they didn't want to give her any time whatsoever. And she kept the cameras rolling, and you got to see just exactly how a dissenting opinion gets treated.
Yep. But Laura Loomer, like she spares no she spares nothing. You know, I mean, she puts it right out there. And hail to B. Good evening to you as well. You know, she Trinoculus is correct. She got canceled before Alex Jones ever did. She was one of the big time people that got canceled on the internet. You know, she's worked for Project Veritas. She's done it all. She's done some great journalism. You know, so I want to have her on, and you know, we're gonna have, I think, a fascinating talk with her. And I may do it in the format we did last time. We'll do a long form interview with her, and I'll probably be Wes and I, and we'll really have a extensive conversation with Laura Loomer. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, we got big things coming up for the channel in 2023. I'm excited about that. But yeah, you know, guys, I'm going to continue on my end doing doing the same thing. I'm not afraid of YouTube. I'm not afraid of the bullies that come after you. I'm not afraid of these people. They can try and censor us, but we're still going to be there fighting that information war. And that's why I'm glad that, somebody that has the professional reputation and the gravitas that Vinny has comes on this channel and speaks his mind. I'm glad that, somebody like Bruce comes on here and it does that. And other YouTubers like Steven and like Janet, because Janet's got a pretty nice following these days. So, I'm glad for that. And we're going to continue to do it. Nobody's going anywhere.
Yeah, that's it. Good people speaking the truth, speaking of facts. Because I don't run away from any of this shit either. There's been a lot of people who are just, I don't know. They're all drinking this Kool-Aid and they expect everyone to follow them. How about we just spit out the fucking truth, the facts?
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Hail,
They don't want us to.
Hail to Fury Kitten. Janet says, "Thank you guys for not whipping out the wear."
The night
How
is
does
still
we
young,
know
Janet.
that this isn't a pantless stream?
Yeah.
All of us are here. We got our tops on, or we got our sweatshirts or t-shirts. You've seen my hands. I got the Only Hands network over here. I know Vinny's got an Only Hands network over there. But
Well, Hans Cock, I dropped this great info on a creep as well who had no pants on, streaming with 4 ladies.
Yeah. Thanks for just on the red shirt. He says the time prophet. Everybody knows that Wikipedia is nonsense. I don't even have a Wikipedia page. I haven't hit the radar yet, but just give it time. Eventually.
Actually, Drew, I made one for you last week. You should go on it. It tells the truth about everything you do.
Supreme
Nice.
Heretic. He is far right conspiracy nut. No.
See, they're
You
reading
can do
it
that?
right now.
You can get on there and make your own.
Wait a minute, I didn't write that.
You're allowed to.
He's a far right, short Asian guy.
It's
You can't see
With a big dog.
Wait.
That's right.
Thanks, Janet.
He's King Dog. If you can write your own, why not?
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Can you though?
After Drew bought into the Soulja Boy game console, he realized he was sitting on $1 million.
Well,
No,
hey,
I don't think that person's related.
Who would have thought we'd have a puppet president in right now?
Yeah.
So I mean, anything's
Never would have
possible,
thought
right?
this.
I mean, we have Barry and his husband Michael with the earpiece on, feeding them lines.
Yeah.
Speaking of big dongs,
Good old Barry.
who else is gonna go on Ellen and dance?
Oh, jeez, oh man.
Roll of quarters.
Propeller it.
The quarter roll in effect. Oh, Jesus, man.
I wanted to point out a comment from Time Prophet. This is back a bit, but it was Jennifer Lawrence painted minis before Bruce did.
I have so much to learn from Jennifer Lawrence, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
you got painted by minis.
Oh, that too. That was just that was leaked on the fappening though.
It's funny that I really can't believe. Well, yeah, I guess I can believe. Oh God, I forget what university was it last week that put out the
Stanford.
list of changed
Stanford.
words.
Stanford.
Yeah, and
Home
American
of the
is,
tree.
American is now a bad word.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
all about changing the language. Once they do that, then they could really screw over everything and everyone.
American
It's part of the agenda, dude. We know this.
American is a bad word. Like, how the fuck do we get here?
Well, first we had this communist named Antonio Gramsci. It was good that he was in jail, but somebody found these letters he wrote, and they said, this is a good thing. Bring this to that Marx guy, that Arabian Marx guy, and they shoved it off to Karl Marx, and he kind of put it in his vernacular, and he started spreading that, and somehow got over to freaking Saul Alinsky, the piece of shit in Chicago that schooled our Manchurian candidate. And from there, it's just kind of cascaded into the shit show that we live today.
Tina Bojan says, I heard Jennifer Lawrence was the first Cubs fan. I'm sorry, Tina. Oh, gosh.
Jennifer Lawrence was the first one to predict they would win in 17, though.
Yep. Oh, rip the shrimp indeed. It's great to see you, brother. Oh, man. Time Prophet says, I heard you can't say Indians anymore, but I love cowboy movies. Oh, man.
It's indigenous people of redness. I think that's what we're supposed to say now.
Indigenous people of Reddit? What?
Go Cleveland, indigenous people of redness.
Yes, the redness. You can't say red skin anymore. They are people of red.
Redness.
Yes, Glenn.
That implies something else that I don't even want to touch. I'm not going there.
You guys are all correct. Woo, 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 woo. Infowars.com.
Look, at least we aren't calling them like drunken savages, you know?
Yeah.
It could be worse.
Yeah, aim big.
Well, listen, folks, it is going on 8:45 here. Much as I enjoyed the conversation, we do have to wind down the stream because, I got to get some dinner. I know Mr. Priest Beach has to get some dinner, and we have to, some of us need to fatten ourselves up, So at least if I'm going to get thrown in the ovens, I'm going to go in a fat guy.
Is that some kind of personal attack?
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm very self-effacing. I don't mind.
Let's go around the bed. Oh man, we'll start with the last person to get here, and that was Mr. Bruce Lombardo. So Bruce, tell him what you got going on.
Well, if you come over to my channel, youtube.com/Bruce Lombardo 75, you will be indoctrinated with an every other weekend Saturday game, which will span between 6 and 10 hours of live streaming, lots and lots of miniature painting during various other streams. Every Monday night, you'll have Janet from Another Planet as our special guest host as we talk movies that don't suck, except for the one Bad Girls. And then we also will talk about various other gaming topics because I do a lot of tabletop RPG stuff. And I think that if we can get that culture back, we can get back anything, because that culture is sadly soaked within the idiocy of the socialists. Thank you, Drew, for letting me come on tonight.
Hey, man, Bruce, I was happy to have you because, you always got compelling stuff to say. And I want to take it over to one of the best comic pros I know, and that is Vinny Tartamella, a.k.a. Vinny Art. Tell him what you got going on, brother.
Yeah, man. I got actually 3 active campaigns. So if you want some amazing books and you don't have to wait years and years and years for them, you could order them and get them right away. I have Through the Woods. So speaking of Lombardo, we have a character named Jack Lombardo in there. Fantastic character. Again, this is a ghost story. So if you want a really awesome, fantastic book, it's hardcover. It's in a larger format as well. It's like a European format. So it's like 9 by 12 inches, somewhere around there. A beautiful book. You have the whole story contained in there. That's Through the Woods. You could find that over on Indiegogo there, or you type in mellaartworld.com or type in vinnyart.com, and it'll take you to this awesome campaign with Pirate Story. That's my avatar here is my main character from that. At Shadow of the Kraken. That's a 52-page book. That's incredible. The story is awesome. The artwork's fantastic. Everyone who's gotten it, they absolutely loved it. There's been not one bad review. Everyone was just like, over the moon about it, and I thank you guys so much. And I also have City of Venus, so if you're into some hot chicks in a post-apocalyptic world, that's available as well, along with 2 art books. And I'm working on the sequel to City of Venus as well as we speak. I just need to get my computer back up and running. I had a great little meltdown, power surge that fried my computer. So I am working on fixing, I got a new one, but I got to get everything back in there. So it's been a pain in the ass last couple of, it's like a week and a half now. But I also do a bunch of streaming and stuff too. Fridays and Sundays is when I stream. So around 5 p.m. on Friday. That is the Friday Underground stream, and then Sunday I have a round table, and we talk about everything from comics, politics, movies, games, you name it, anything and everything. My one rule is don't be a scumbag. I only keep cool people on my streams, honest people. I don't like people who want to ride coattails and all that kind of shit and scumbags. I don't have time to deal with that. I get the work done, and we got a great time all the time. So it's always fun. And if you're into toys, I'm a former lead designer from McFarlane Toys, so I do a bunch of toy reviews and stuff like that on my channel. I also have the good old Hans Koch entertainment news. I suggest watching those. They're going to make you laugh your ass off. Kind of a rib on Doomcock, but it's a lot of fun. So go take a look at those. I'll try to get more up once everything is back running on my computer properly. But yes, thank you, Drew. Thank you, everyone on panel and in chat.
Yeah, Vinny, thanks for popping on and say what's up to our buddy Jay Spox from 540 Studio. What's going on, buddy? Trina decided to give you a little shit. She said, yes, Vinny makes great comics for real, and his art is top notch. And she also said you say comics. I got comics, and you open your trench coat.
What?
Yeah,
I got comics for you.
No, the only one who does that is Hans Koch. That ain't me.
Yeah. See,
Vinny, I love your work, man. I've never chatted with you before, been on panel with you, but I love hearing you talk about the entire story theory you have and what you've put out there. This is 23 is going to be the year where I actually get invested in a lot of the creators like yourself, and I apologize I haven't bought anything of yours yet. I really am, sir.
Oh, dude. Well, I appreciate that. You want to give it a shot, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Comics that's what I love to do. I love storytelling, having fun like that. That's where all that energy should be put. Not
Tina Bojan gives you some love, Vinny. She said all Vinny's books rock. Get your own copies; it'll make you cool.
Thank you, Tina. I've got comics. Let me get my trench coat.
That's awesome. So, thank you again, Vin. I always love having you on, dude, because I know you feel passionate about and you care about this country, and sure, brother, man. I admire that about you so much. You are a great American, my friend. You really are,
dude, and I appreciate it too. Like I said, I've had family that was in the military. We had a family friend who tragically passed recently. Again, thanks to a good old piece of shit Biden. An illegal came over the border, drunk driver, killed a Marine. Mm-hmm. That was pretty heartbreaking, and the guy's out. So not only are we, this wonderful country is supporting this shit and okaying it, they could just come in and do whatever the fuck they want. Again, this is it's mind-boggling to me. So a Marine could die because of these pieces of shit, and they continue doing it. So we know what they have planned for this country. So that's why we got to keep fighting. We got to keep getting our voices out there.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, that the Marine that we left in Russia is still alive, but things change. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is awful.
The thing is I'm glad that all of you guys come on this channel because this stuff needs to be talked about. It needs to be said. So Lasso Drew says Drew's not legally allowed to do the helicopter. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Causes a Title III typhoon coming through. You're going to drown a city. You do that.
I hope Drew is not a flasher. He would make women pass.
Gojira.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Jay says, I might be from Norway, but as my best Sparta Chris say, I have the heart of a true American. Yes, you do, Jace. And listen, we all need to be patriots in our own countries because our sovereignty is under attack, every single country. And we need to realize it's not just an America problem, this is a global problem. And we need to stand up for humanity and we need to call this out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's important. But let me go over to Janet from another planet because she is the best looking one out of all of us.
Thank you, Drew. That's sweet of you. I just have shorts on my channel. I only do little shorts, inspirational. I might do pickup lines, just whatever spontaneous thing happens that I think about. That's basically what I make my shorts on. But I'm also reading my book, Revelation, in small bite-sized pieces. It's about vampires, witches, and warlocks, and archangels and familiars. And on Monday nights, as Bruce already said, I do movie reviews with him, a girl, a guy, and a movie. And then on Tuesday nights, I'm here with the rest of the panel. And on Wednesday night, I will be on Lasso of Truth's channel for a real horror. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun. And so come and laugh and hang out with us and listen to us talk about bad movies. No, I was kidding. But it's a lot of fun. And
it's the gate. Yeah, it's the gate. This,
the
tomorrow.
gate. That's right. We're going to be doing the gate.
Yep.
But
I'll be on there too.
Yep.
But I'm also on TikTok and Instagram, and I have my own Discord server. I have links to that on my channel. So hopefully you'll come check out my shorts.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing your shorts on the floor, but that's all right.
Hey, who's got a trench coat too?
Shirt
So come see my trench coat. But all right, let's go over to Mr. Free Speech Gaming, and that be Steven.
Hey everybody, it was another excellent Tuesday. The chat, you guys were making me laugh way too hard. I had to mute myself several times and quickly move away from the mic, or I was just going to bust out laughing into it. But everybody, you can find me over on my channel, Blast from the Past Reviews, where that's the channel where I actually do things. You can find me there Fridays at 8:30. This Friday, we're just going to be chatting, be myself and Megan Lee of the New Reviews. And then the following Friday, we will be doing a movie review. I'm not completely set on it, but I think I'm going to be doing Unforgiven next Friday with Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman. Excellent movie. Even if you're not a fan of Westerns, I highly suggest you watch it. It's just an excellent, solid movie overall. And then Friday nights after that, you can find me over on Ord's Board, his main channel, where we've been doing Mario Kart, the Friday night after party. A lot of fun, a lot of shit talking. We tend to have a full party there now. I had to wait 45 minutes before I could even get into a match this Friday, so it's been a blast over there. And then Sundays, you can find me over on Ord's second channel, Ord's World, where we do the Sunday morning podcast. I think that's about everything I got going on, except for, next Tuesday, you can find me right back here. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, are you on the podcast with Snow?
Yeah, Ords and Snowdub, and occasionally we get Tom or Midnight's Edge or Darth News. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah, it's been great. I wormed my way into that.
Janet, you got a pal in Rita. She says that, Janet, you're one awesome lady. I love seeing you.
Well, thank you.
Ditto.
Jay Fox says, I fight every day of what Norway is doing now. They fucked up so much in the last years, and now they're talking about getting age of consent to 15 years old. Yeah, this is a worldwide problem. This is a global problem. They are a bunch of satanic groomers, and we need to realize this and realize there is true evil out there. Okay, it's not just good and evil. It's not just a metaphor. It's not just in fiction. It is a very true thing. And, we are fighting against that evil, and we need to protect the children as much as we can. And I will never stop advocating for children, as I know that you in the chat and those of us on the panel, none of these folks ever will stop advocating for children as well. because they are precious, and we will look out for the kids.
Mhm.
Hey, Drew,
Amen.
Yeah.
before we go to Will, I got to say that you're hitting on a nail that I think needs to be hammered more, because when we had our 4 years of 45, I remember a lot of stories coming out where sex slavery rings were being busted up left and right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Yeah, human trafficking rings.
all of that was like that I think that was the main causation behind all the reading. I really do. I think that was the main causation of it, because that was like the main focus of like the undercurrent of what was going on. And Trump was just out there sending, he had people been involved with this stuff, and then he'd have a small group of people that be activated whenever they like lock things down, and they'd go after people. They'd find these kids, they'd find these minors from different nations, and then instead of that being reported, you could find it on websites where it was being, you were given a number, but the mainstream press never talked about it,
Mm-hmm.
ever.
Yeah.
And now, the first thing the resident said when he got selected in office, he's like, "America is back, baby. We're going to do things our way." And there's been a complete and total reversal of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I want to highlight what Cheesy Burton's saying right here, because this is true. Just as recent as today, there were multiple tweets confirming the WEF dumped Twitter because Elon got rid of child trafficking, and that's true. They're pushing people to different social media sites, mainly Chinese sites. Go figure. But they're pushing people to different social media sites and off of Twitter, largely because Elon has gotten rid of a lot of the pedophilia, and he's trying to do something about it. Which again, credit to him. I may not trust the guy fully, but he's got my credit on the Twitter file stuff and on doing this.
Yeah.
Well, that's one
see-
of the reasons. Sorry,
Oh.
that's one of the reasons why they want the border wide open, is
Mhm.
because you cannot track all the children being tracked across the border.
I was
All the
gonna say-
young teenage girls that are pregnant, about to give birth, those babies will be undocumented and up for sale to do whatever they want. And that sounds
a great point.
disgusting, but that's
Yeah.
what kind of things these people do.
Well, again, it's sadly, yeah, you're 100% correct. I know, and I've heard a few things too regarding a lot of this shit, and that is one of the main reasons why they wanted Trump out completely, because he stopped the big business for all these dirty people, not just the politicians involved in this, people all around the world, because it's massive. Human trafficking is bringing in more money. It surpassed drugs. This is the main reason why they wanted him out. Why? Because he was going to go after the Epstein Island people. That's the other main fucking reason why they did so much damage to this man. Because it was going to hit everyone. This is politicians,
And they're
movie stars.
still pounding at him. They're still
Yeah.
beating him over the head with the club.
Yeah, because it's celebrities, it's politicians, it's again, people from all around the world, kings, queens, you name it. This is why, because they were going to expose it all. So it's
All right.
disgusting.
Let's go over to Will, and Will can tell us what he's got going on.
This, you got me? There we go. This goes without saying. Call me Captain Obvious. A very loaded show tonight. It reminds me how much I enjoy being on a big panel. We went over 2 hours tonight. We don't usually do that, but there was never a dull moment, and I am looking forward to another full year of United Resistance starting next week. Tune in as we play our new game. Let's see how far we can get with the January 6th political prisoner before YouTube hits the dump button.
Maybe, yeah, that's about it. Because they are going to come after me for it, dude. You know it, and I know it. But
no fucking doubt.
I'm not gonna back down.
Bring it on.
It's funny.
Yes, I am.
He is.
Yes, I am.
Actually,
Yeah,
originally.
guilty as charged.
Nice.
Yep.
man.
Ruben
Me too.
says,
But I got out in more ways than one.
Yeah,
See?
CERN wants to open the portal into the dark dimension. Ruben said, "Yeah, that's not wrong, Ruben. That is all right." Let me just say this before we go. Listen, folks. I want to kind of share the pinned. Well, I guess the pinned tweet on my timeline from Twitter, and free speech can put the link to it in the chat again. But listen, this here is my campaign for getting the house done. Will knows how hard that I'm working on it, and we're in the home stretch. I'm desperately trying to get the things done that I need to my home in order to get it on the market, get it sold. I've got a couple of mortgage payments to make up because I got put in a impossible situation when my mom passed away. I mean, she was super behind on the mortgage. I caught it up as much as I could, but there's still a couple payments behind. I just don't want them to come after the house because I'm so close to getting it sold. So I'm trying to do that. And we also have some materials left on the list that we need. There's a list of materials on there and some other things. And that's, of course, at gibsendgo.com. And you can get to the campaign. It's under the Taylor Home Project. And I just want to get it sold. And listen, even if you decide to donate or even just share out the campaign, every little bit helps. And anybody, I put in the campaign description, anybody that requests being paid back, I'll even pay you out of the close of the house. So you will see it back if you choose to help in that manner. If you request a payback, that's no problem. So that's just it's big to me to get that done. And 2023 is going to bring hopefully a brand new start. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But I just want to say again, thank you for sticking by the channel, for supporting this program, supporting the Midnight Prism on Sunday nights. And thank you for supporting people like Lasso Truth, like Trina and Janet and Vinny and Steven and all of the people that come on our panel on a regular basis, ETEP and everything. So, we've just had a cast of thousands night. And thank you again to Bruce for being on. Thank you to Vinny for being here. And most of all, thank you to you, the audience, because there is no us without you. You mean the world to us, and you mean the world to me. You guys are indeed my friends. So I love you. I hope you had a great holiday. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, and we will catch you in 2023. Thank you, folks, and have a wonderful night.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sparking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? And you get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tony, Death, rockin'.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi guys, try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.